Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Book Junkie. My name is Monique and I wanted to share with you my latest mini haul that took place over a couple of days at a couple of different locations, but a mini haul nonetheless. I spent some time in the thriller section, of course, and I bought 5 new books that I am so excited to read. The first one is a classic if you love horror and thrillers, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I saw this movie when I was younger and I didn't even know it was a book until recently, and now I am wildly obsessed with reading it. Apparently it was written in 1959. It tells the story of 4 people who find themselves at an old house, Hill House, and of course nothing but creepy and supernatural occurrences happen there, and it's up to these people to survive. And that sounds like my kind of book. I love ghost stories, I love all things horror, and I am so excited to read this book. I've heard it talked about a lot, and I've seen a lot of comparison book versus movie type of videos, and this one was on one that I recently looked at, and I'm really excited to read this one. The next book that I bought was by Lucy Foley. It is called The Guest List. I was really excited about this one because apparently it is about a wedding on a remote island where there is a murder. And having just got married a couple months ago, I want nothing more than some sort of really horrible thing to happen at a wedding, maybe a murder, obviously fictional, but something really creepy to happen at a wedding because I'm fresh off of my own wedding. The back says, an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, and the bridesmaid all have a terrible secret. All have a motive, but only one is a murderer.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Google, what? All have a secret, all have a motive, and only one is a murderer. And I was in front of a large group of Lucy Foley books, and this is the only one where I was like, I need to read this. I know there's a lot of other good books out there, and I think she just came out with one called The Midnight Feast that I definitely want to read, but this one, grabbed me, so I have to get it. I'm excited to read this one. Okay, this one is so creepy. The title and the cover just got me. I even started laughing because it's so creepy, okay? Just Like Mother. I don't know if you can see it, but I saw the spine. It wasn't even like this. I saw the spine and I was like, that I have to get that. And then I looked at this and someone said it was a fierce, frightening novel, and I was like, I have to get this. I didn't even care really what it was about. Just this was enough for me. But essentially what it looks like it's about is about this girl who grows up in a cult, and I guess her cousin leaves the cult and escapes the cult, but I would assume that this young woman grows up and, with the cult and then leaves the cult at some point. But anyway, she grows up into an adult and she ends up finding her cousin who left the cult earlier and connecting with her. And she starts spending more time with her, and apparently, I don't know, some weird stuff starts coming up again about how they were raised, and the back of the book basically says that the main character has to confront her upbringing in that cult. And so I'm sorry, but this has to be really good, especially if it says that it's fierce and frightening. I'm really excited to read it. All right, the back of the book says, Just Like Mother is a spine-chilling modern gothic tale from a fresh new voice in horror. That voice would be Anne Heltzel. So I'm really excited to read this book. If you've read it, let me know. Maybe it's a dud, I don't know, but I'm really excited to read it just based off the cover and the title. This next book, I have been wanting every time I go into a bookstore, I'm like, this is the book that I want. And for some reason, either I can't find it or I miss it, I don't know. But it's Sherry Lapina's Everyone Here Is Lying. So obviously, if you know Sherry Lapina, you know she wrote The Couple Next Door. And I tore through that book in probably 2 days. I loved it so much. And I'm a slow reader, so that says something. So I'm really excited to read this one. So essentially, this one is about a man named William Wooler. He's a family man. And apparently he's having an affair. And unfortunately, while he's, at the end of the affair, something involving the affair, he goes home and he finds his 9-year-old daughter there who is not supposed to be home. And basically he sees her there and he gets really upset with her, and eventually she ends up disappearing later that day. So when the cops have to ask him, like, when was the last time you saw your daughter? He literally has to tell them the truth that he was home last time he saw her was when he was having an affair. And obviously he doesn't want to do that, but not telling the cops that obviously doesn't bode well for his daughter or finding her. So yeah, this seems like kind of a conflict of morals, and I'm really excited to read it. Just the back of the cover, like what it's about alone, grabbed me, because basically this man has to decide if he wants to find his daughter or if he wants to hide his affair. So this looks really good, really juicy. Also, it is pink and black. I mean, elder millennial, I just love it so much. I'm really like obsessed with book covers and book feels and book smells and all things books. So this one looks good. This next book I got at Target, and it grabbed me just by the cover. I'm really excited about it. It is called The Quiet Tenant, by Clemence Michelin. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but this looks really good. The cover grabbed me because it's giving me like cabin in the woods vibe, or like summer camp slasher vibe or something. I don't know, but it really grabbed me. And the back of the cover grabbed me even more. Essentially, it's about this serial killer who has killed 8 women already. He's on his 9th woman that he's trying to kill. For 5 years, he's kept her locked up in his backyard shed. Well, he lives in the house with his daughter, and one day they have to move. So he has to bring his victim with him on this move, and he attempts to brainwash her, or he has been brainwashing her, and he hopes that this brainwashing that he's been doing to her is going to lead all of them to this safe passage to this new house, and everyone is going to get along great, and it's going to be great. But I have a feeling the main character is going to kind of snap out of it and try to use his daughter, which they actually say, to get out of this horrible situation that she's in. So this just sounds really messed up, and I can't wait to read it. Literally, it seems like a really good summer thriller just because of the front. Gives me like summer camp vibe. I don't know. So I'm so excited to read this, and I cannot wait. If you have read it, let me know. I can't wait to hear about it. And the final book that I'll be sharing in this little mini haul is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. And I really liked this book just because it is a Mexican Gothic horror, and I've been trying to read more Mexican Gothic horrors, and I find them really interesting. I am Hispanic, so everything Gothic horror Mexican, it just grabs me. Especially because when I was growing up, my grandfather used to tell me these really scary stories that happened in Mexico. So yeah, I really like this stuff. The first thing that caught my eye was the cover, which always does, but then also it said hauntings, exorcisms, incantations, forbidden love. Like that just sounds like a recipe for a really delicious read. So essentially what it's about is this woman who loses her father because the Mexican government is being overthrown, and she loses everything. So she decides she's going to marry this rich statesman. I don't know if he's a statesman. His name is Don Rodolfo Solorzano. He's really rich, and he's promising security, so she basically marries him for that, and she goes to this hacienda where she's supposed to live out probably this very fulfilling life, but it turns out this hacienda is haunted. There's people that work there that are doing these like rituals to kind of keep the house safe, keep the hacienda safe. There's even people who won't even go in the house. It's a whole big mess. So she's like, what did I get myself into? She starts seeing visions, she starts hearing things, and eventually she has to confide in a priest to help her just banish this malevolent spirit, and I am here for it. So I cannot wait to read this. I think it'll be my first ever Mexican Gothic horror. I think I've read a couple of Gothic novels in the past, but neither here nor there. This one looks really good. So I'm really excited to read it. And that is a wrap on my little mini summer thriller book haul. These are the books I got. I'm really excited to add them to my bookshelf, and I'm really excited to talk about them in the coming months. I feel like July is basically the start of Halloween, and I'm ready to celebrate Halloween because Costco is already selling Halloween stuff. You can already buy your tickets for Universal Studios Horror Nights. I feel like it's Halloween time, so I am ready to get into Halloween mode, and I can't help myself. So I'm really excited to be reading these summer thrillers, and if you like all things horror and thriller, don't forget to subscribe, because that is all I'm going to talk about on this channel. So I hope to see you in the comments talking about if you've read these books. Let me know what you thought of them, or if you've read other books by these authors. I'd love to hear about it. So thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. Bye.